What's up, everybody? Trevor Sickema here, welcoming you into another edition of Favorite Fits, the internet mock draft show hosted by me, where we take a look at the latest mock draft over at the Draft Network and pick out some of my favorite fits. See how that goes? This week, we have Jordan Reid's latest mock draft 6.0. 6.0 means we're getting pretty dang close to draft weekend, and the drafts are we're honing in. We're honing in on exactly who we think prospects could be going with which teams. And so Jordan had a couple that we got to talk to, but the first one, it's the Detroit Lions. We got to talk about the Detroit Lions because this is how you work the draft, my friends. He had the Detroit Lions moving back from number 7 overall down to number 12 in a trade with the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers give up a lot, mainly a future first-round pick to go up and get their future quarterback in Trey Lance. And he had the Detroit Lions still selecting linebacker Micah Parsons, who, man, I just got done with Parsons' film, and holy cow, this kid can play football. I mean, you watch his stuff at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. He became the most confident player on the field. His athleticism's fantastic. He's got that former edge background, so he'll give the Detroit Lions that plus pass rush that they need there, as well as hitting a major position of need at linebacker. So they get their talent in the center. They also get a lot of draft capital, some great draft capital in future years, because Lions are going to compete next year. Do what you got to do. Move back a little bit. Still get a stud player. That's beautiful stuff, Detroit. For the next one, we're going all the way back to pick number 27. Now, that's not to say that Jordan didn't have some good selections in between number 12 and number 27. He did, which you should go read. But I had to pick this one out because it truly was one of my favorite. It's Minnesota wide receiver Rashad Bateman going to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, when we look at the Ravens wide receiver group, and even if you want to throw tight ends in there, it's basically either a tight end centric offense or they are spreading the field. That is how their passing game works. There's got to be an intermediate. And Rashad Bateman, where a lot of people are criticizing his overall athleticism, which I think is a little bit overblown anyway, he's a fantastic route runner. He's so smooth. He's nuanced. He knows what he's doing in the middle of the field. He's great after the catch. This is the exact kind of wide receiver that the Baltimore Ravens need. Sure, would they want Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle? Yeah, of course they would. That's a no-brainer. But for them to get a guy like Rashad Bateman is perfect at 27 because I think the value is fantastic and I think the fit is fantastic. This is a great complementary wide receiver, and I think that if the Ravens had the chance to draft Bateman, they should follow Jordan's mock draft lead and jump all over it. Final pick that we're talking about here on this episode is the final pick in this mock draft. It is pass rusher Jaelan Phillips going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if this happens, just shut the league down. I mean, what? This would be highway draft robbery. Actually, this might atone for the draft sins the Buccaneers had when they drafted Roberto Aguayo in the second round. So actually, they might deserve this. Think about this. They might not be able to re-sign everyone that they want. Probably going to be somebody who's left out, who's just going to want to chase more money elsewhere, and more power to them. They would have to take a lot of collective discounts for them to bring all of that Super Bowl team back. Let's say Shaq Barrett, who's off back-to-back really good years as a pass rusher, wants to cash out as much as possible. He can go elsewhere, and if the Bucs get to then just plug Jaelan Phillips in on one side opposite Jason Pierre-Paul, that ain't even fair, man. That ain't even fair what's going on. Jaelan Phillips is the most talented pass rusher in this class. He's got concussion and injury issues that you got to worry about. You got to investigate some of the stuff off the field. His transfer from UCLA, all that goes into the equation. But if all of that checks out, man, the on-the-field product is just fantastic. You get to put him in a Todd Bowles defense with that defense around him. All of a sudden, this Buccaneers team, once again, one of the favorites to win it all. That's all for favorite fits this week. If you haven't seen all of Jordan's selections, not just in the first round, but also the second and the third round, because like I said, draft weekend's coming around. We're giving you guys the depth of these mock drafts now. Go check it out over at thedraftnetwork.com and make sure that you like and subscribe to the Draft Network on YouTube, because we're pumping out all kinds of video content up until draft weekend and you don't want to miss it. We'll see you guys next week.